Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for February 18th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 49, not 48. I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmtown.com. We've made some changes over there, so I hope you take the time to go over and hang out. I think you'll detect more articles than ever. We'll see. It's up to you to go and decide. If you want all of today's show notes, they're over on YouTube, the description for this live show. And if you hit !NSN, it will post automatically into the chat over on twitch.tv, but not on the YouTube. It's okay. That's okay. You have it in the show notes. At any rate, everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
So for those who are watching, that's the visualizer for the sentient AI that I found on a weird USB drive in the parking lot of a Wendy's back now over 3 years ago.
I reject your weird label.
Oh, yeah, I'm USB shaming. I know, it's horrible. It's okay, though.
How rude.
No, I think weird is great. I mean, a certain kind of weird is great. There's some weird that, no, some weird is just too weird. So yesterday I had my mic way down there, and
it sounded like you were whispering or something.
I was quieter than normal, making you louder than normal in comparison, which...
Oh, good. I'm sure I loved yelling at the hometown citizens yesterday.
Yeah, true. So here we are. Everything is back to normal. Well, as normal as can be. I don't know. The mic feels weird being... I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
The very first article is over in the Continuity Report, and that's one of our shows, but it's on the weekends. It's a weekly show, the Continuity Report. It's the third show on Saturday, after Wanted, which is after RealityHacker. But this is about a comic, graphic novel, Mom. I don't know what you want to call it. So I've never even, I don't really read graphic novels or comics or anything like that, but
I actually thought this was about a movie or something, but it makes sense given the headline.
Yeah, so if you need more Blade Runner in your life, Black Cloak is the story you've been waiting for. Caitlin Chappell over at, or Chappell, I'm not sure how they actually pronounce their last name, over at ScreenRant.com put the article together, and it says, January 2025 closed out the second arc of Image Comics' Black Cloak. The perfect series for fans of Blade Runner, an Eisner-nominated comic by one of the most interesting creative teams in the industry. Black Cloak is perfect for fans of mystery, sci-fi, noir, and woman-driven stories, even if they don't star Harrison Ford. So I love the idea of this. I want it to be a movie. I don't want to read the graphic novels, Mom.
Right, but maybe this will become a movie if it's a hit.
Right. So let's get going. We'll write the screenplay. Black Cloak by Kelly Thompson, Meredith McLaren, and Becca Carey has an incredible magic system, and the world building is top notch. So it's a Blade Runner-esque, that can't be, that has a magic system and the world building. Okay. So on top of Thompson's stellar scripts, there is McLaren's simple yet fantastical art style, but Black Cloak is not just a phenomenal fantasy series, it's also a murder mystery. Murder.
It sounds intriguing so far.
So far. Hold on one second. I want to do something. All right. So they say in Black Cloak, the royal prince is murdered, and it's up to the titular Black Cloaks, who are essentially this world's detectives, to solve the case. And they dig deeper, they realize there's something darker afoot. How it blends the genres feels akin to one of the best sci-fi films of all time, Blade Runner. Now, I'm going to stop right there. There's some of the artwork. mainly because I don't want to even throw the spoiler tag up there.
Okay, now are we talking about the original Blade Runner, I'm assuming?
I don't know. They just say Blade Runner. So Blade Runner is Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049 is blah, blah, blah. 2077 is blah. That said, I'm going to go with they think that it's aligned with the original.
That's
But
what
again,
I'm thinking too. I just wanted to raise some controversy by that comment.
yeah, look at you picking potential fights. But I encourage y'all to go over and check out the rest of this. This is a really nice tease. So if you're interested in graphic novels, or perhaps even kind of poking the bear that says, turn this into a screenplay and make it a movie a la Blade Runner-esque, dark sci-fi fantasy noir, I'm game. I will sign up and watch that. I don't even need to read the source material because I'm more interested in the movie than I am in that actual the novels or comics or graphic novels, whatever you want to call them. But they're calling Image comics, so I suspect that they're comics. The only thing that I have with comics is I don't think that there's enough text in comics because a picture's worth 1,000 words. So the mind's eye, or the imagination bus, whatever you want to call it, doesn't get to create the image based off of the text because you have a framework of world building there that is the embodiment of what they're trying to get across, right? You
right,
see
it's
this
contrasted with a novel with no pictures.
right, where you get to think about it more, cogitate on it more. But I liked comics, but I'm just more interested in movies now. Anyway, I thought that this was a cool little tease to get us going.
I liked the headline.
Yeah.
And I like the title of it. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, Black Cloak. So go and check it all out. Okay, let's go. The next article is over in Rounders Gear. Ex-Texas lottery chief rigged a $95 million jackpot, claims lawsuit, which makes you wonder.
Well, I mean, if this is accurate, it seems like that would be the person who would know how to do it, but we don't know yet.
So a class action lawsuit accuses former Texas lottery chief executive Gary Grief of laying the groundwork for a criminal conspiracy that allowed a Europe-based syndicate to game the system and win a $95 million jackpot. The person who led the lottery commission for 15 years denied wrongdoing via his lawyer on Sunday. So this is one of these problems and one of the reasons why Florida person exists, because you can't actually name the person until they're convicted. If this is still being just levied,
we don't want to disparage this person. We don't know what the outcome is.
Right. And as we know, if you fight hard enough, then and you've got enough connections and whatnot, you can basically get away with anything. So the conspiracy apparently began in 2017 when the what do you want to call him? Commissioner.
The lottery chief.
Lottery chief. Let's just say the lottery chief traveled to California to lobby the founders of lottery.com to relocate their business to Austin, Texas, the lawsuit claims. From that moment until they suddenly retired in early 2024, the Lottery Commission and lottery.com became a combined single criminal entity, according to this. So also a defendant in the case, this online site is an online lottery courier service and one of the handful that was enlisted in the syndicate to buy up and process the millions of tickets required to cover every possible combination of numbers.
First of all, I don't understand how the Lottery Commission and lottery.com could merge if they did, because I think one is like a state entity and one is probably a for-profit.
Well, essentially they work together so seamlessly.
Right.
So he also permitted... Go ahead.
Well, I also don't know. It seems like people at least talk about buying up all combinations. I don't know if that's illegal.
So the lawsuit accuses them of bypassing the normal legislative process to change regulations to allow tickets to be bought on cell phones, opening up the potential for courier services like the website. He also permitted the 24-hour printing of tickets and anonymous claims for winners, rules which were designed to enable lottery couriers and ultimately the syndicate, according to the lawsuit. He is also accused of allowing the website to print hundreds of thousands of tickets on credit, which you cannot do.
No, I mean, all these things sound problematic, and this does sound like a long con, right? There's a lot of steps if these actually occurred.
Yeah. And that's why there's checks and balances, so that nobody can, and in many things, when there is representative management of a given whatever, there's checks and balances to pump the brakes on anything that might be extremist. So in this particular case, Philip Conneller over at casino.org put this article together, and it says in April 2023, a shadowy syndicate bought $25.8 million. No, strike that. 25.8 million Texas lottery tickets. This covered every possible combination for the April 22 draw, winning $95 million in jackpot. The lawsuit accuses the former lottery chief of facilitating that syndicate.
And I would say even the stuff above there is all alleged.
Yeah, all of it is alleged, apparently. So there's more in the article, but we've pretty much gone over the nuts and bolts of it. And again, this is why there are checks and balances in any agency, so that nobody can abuse the system.
This is also the type of article you're going to find in ohmTown. So you have to come to every episode of Non Sequitur News to see what topics are on.
That's right. Every single one. And there's back episodes, 1,800 episodes. So good luck. Oh, and I'm slowly changing the thumbnails to something that might be more entertaining. So I hope you like it. All right, let's keep on going. This next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Mira Murati is launching their own OpenAI rival, Thinking Machines Lab. After her sudden departure from OpenAI last fall, ex-CTO Mira Murati vanished from public view to start something new. Now she's ready to share some details, and those details are she's starting an AI lab called Thinking Machines Lab. And while the specifics of what she plans to release are still under wraps, the company says its goal is to make AI systems more widely understood, customizable, and generally capable. The startup also promises to at least have some level of public transparency by pledging to regularly publish technical research and code.
I like at least some level. That's not a very high bar.
Not much.
We'll put one piece of data out for every 100 or whatever.
That's a lot. A smidge.
Of course, that probably is more than some of the others out there, but still.
Yeah, nobody really knows what's going on back there. So Thinking Machines Labs has hired a bunch of leaders from OpenAI. Kylie Robison over at TheVerge.com put the article together. And it goes on to say that the startup also promises to at least have some level of public transparency. Murati's been working to create an AI dream team for this new startup. Recently recruited OpenAI co-founder John Schulman as head of research, Barrett Zoff, another former OpenAI leader, as their startup CTO, Chief Technology Officer. Sources tell The Verge that Schulman has been actively building the team by taking meetings with researchers mere blocks from OpenAI's headquarters.
I mean, is she going to reconstitute OpenAI? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you hear about people from Apple starting up a company that basically has the same packaging and stylistic everything as Apple. And then
where do we... Oh,
go ahead. No, it's okay.
Where do we predict this going? What kind of lawsuit will happen next?
Oh, I don't know.
Trade secret.
Yeah, trade secret
or something like that. Yeah,
they'll get precariously close to the logo, and you'll get a trademark.
Right. It could be more than one, but I feel like you're right. We see this pattern with large companies.
Yeah. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Wanted, which is another one of our shows. It is on Saturday as well. Kind of smooshed right in between RealityHacker and the Continuity Report. This article says, it doesn't say cough, cough. It says, I can't believe this long-running video game discount program is ending. Nintendo launched Gold Points in 2018, allowing users to earn them by purchasing physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. The points could then be redeemed for discounts on purchases via the Nintendo eShop. Well, that's all going away. Craig Donaldson over at pocket-lint.com. And once again, if you own pocketlint.com, consider donating it to pocket-lint.com.
It would make Mayor Watts so happy.
So the reasoning behind Nintendo's decision to discontinue the program is unclear. Money. The author says here, my Nintendo Platinum points can still be earned and redeemed after March 24th. So I guess that is a separate my Nintendo Platinum points.
You know what that reminds me of is the World of Warcraft currencies.
Oh, yeah, like there's 200 of them or something like that. Yeah.
It's probably not that bad for Nintendo, but...
Yeah, so if you have gold points, they can still be redeemed after March 24th. They'll expire 12 months after you initially earned them, and the whole Nintendo gold points are being discontinued after March 24th. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So they go into greater detail here, but what will happen with your gold points, they won't vanish. You just won't be able to earn more. It's unclear why they suddenly decided to get rid of it. It says it could have something to do with the imminent release of the Switch 2, and there may be new loyalty programs coming to the console. So why not transfer them over and not destroy any of that goodwill?
Yeah, like why discontinue and then, well, that's a good way to wipe out the points.
Right. Yeah, kind of sucks. So while Nintendo is killing off gold points, platinum points are here to stay for now and can still be earned for the foreseeable future until Nintendo changes its mind again. If it doesn't make economic sense, then they'll just kill it and they don't really care because you'll be back. Yeah, little biatches. You're going to just sit there and keep on consuming because it's fun. Next article is over in the mobile channel. Uber for armed guards rushes to market following the assassination of United Healthcare CEO. Are you scared?
Do you think that's the actual name?
Uber for armed guards? Yeah, it's probably from Uber too, right? So if you're scared to walk down the streets of New York City and also have too much money, there's an app for that. The Uber for armed guards. Matthew Galt over at gizmodo.com put the article together.
Wow, I'm a little surprised at the
image
picture here.
Yeah, so it's the Protector app. And the image that you saw at the top of that was marketing material from the Protector app. Protector, the app that lets you book armed goons the same way you'd call for an Uber, is having a viral moment. This is a quote from the article. They referred to armed guards as goons. The app started doing the rounds on social media after consultant Nikita Bear posted about it on Twitter. It's the number 3 app. I'm not sure how that can possibly exist as number 3, just under Airbnb and above Vrbo vacation rentals. It has to be in a very tight niche thing, some weird travel
like
related
ride services or something.
So here's a peek at how it works. I don't really care. What it comes down to, it says it's number 7 in travel, according to the article in the Apple App Store. It says, sorry, Google fans, if you want your own armed goons, you'll have to resort to more traditional methods of goon employment. The marketer for Protector, which lives on its Twitter account, is surreal. A series of robust and barrel-chested men in ill-fitting black suits deliver their credentials to the camera while sitting in front of a black background. They're all operators. They describe careers in SWAT teams and being deployed to war zones. They show vanity shots of themselves kitted out in operator gear, all of them a red lapel pin bearing the symbol of Protector. So if this isn't dystopian corporatocracy, I don't know what is. This is Cyberpunk 2025.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was trying to find the travel category to see if this was actually like as highly ranked as it says, but I don't know.
Yeah, so who is this for? A video posted on January 6, 2025 that runs just over 2 minutes gives the game away. It opens the photo with the whole United Healthcare debacle. We're going to run through a scenario to demonstrate, and if a Protector had been there, the crisis would have been averted, but not necessarily. He then runs through several fantasy versions of the event and ends with the whole cell. So This person founded Protector Security Solutions in October 2024 and started putting together 2 apps, Protector and Patrol. Patrol is marketed in the same way with the same people. Scared suburban neighbors pool their resources to hire private security for their neighborhood.
What I find really odd about this, other than its existence, is the use of an actual victim of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty interesting to me that that's part of their marketing.
Yeah, so basically you're going to have mercs running around the neighborhood protecting you, quote unquote, and you can keep on adding more and more money, it says, to unlock more tiers, more drones, more cars, more guards, more. But you have to pay more. But that's what your taxpayer dollars are supposed to be doing. And that's actually where a lot of military go.
Like a character in like a Jack Ryan kind of show.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, like some person in some secluded place, but they've got like a whole, I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
Full force working for them.
Yeah, they say here, Sereth, which I'm not sure who Sereth is. Maybe up here. They say we rely on law enforcement to keep us safe, but they cannot be everywhere at once. Protector is designed to support the goals of law enforcement and will provide an accessible way for people to protect themselves and their loved ones.
You know what this reminds me of is the attempts to obtain kind of private fire services in LA. And that was not very well received.
Yeah. Okay, gotta move on. The next article is over in the Mobile channel. Gamified building sites provide safer, more accessible learning opportunities for construction students. Construction education is being transformed with immersive virtual learning environments, allowing University of South Australia students to safely and freely navigate building sites and connect theory to practice. The article is over at phys.org, posted by University of South Australia. So these are virtual site visits. They create a realistic digital environment where architecture and construction students can explore the complexity of construction sites from a first-person perspective, like a video game. Through the UniSA developed SiteSeer program, which I've heard of before, students experience the full fabrication process and learn to translate two-dimensional plans into three-dimensional structures, bridging the gap between plans and built reality. UniSA senior lecturer, architecture Dr. Sean Pickersgill, says the development of the gamified platform was born out of the logistical challenges often faced by academics when coordinating physical construction site visits as part of students' practical learning. So it's tough to get people out to a site, but you can walk through any site if it's been virtualized.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and you would hate for them not to be able to do that. I mean, if this is really hyper realistic, I think this is a really cool tool.
Yep, I agree. So there's also the difficulty of students traveling to building sites, sometimes outside of regular teaching hours. For some students, it's impractical, especially if they rely on public transport or have long commute times. And because of that, in the past, we've observed higher absentee rates as students are reluctant to attend. Yeah. Wow, that whole... Never mind. Anyway, the project evolved over the next decade, with more than 1,000 first-year students engaging in the gamified platform as part of a first-year introductory course on Australian construction practices. On-site advanced into a new digital model, SiteSeer, containing more than 70 distinct phases of construction process of a small double-story studio. A mixture of timber frame and brick veneer, the new structure demonstrates a broad scope of construction phases a first-year student is expected to understand. Yeah, depending on where you are, you actually have opportunity to do hands-on work, either paid or volunteer, or a combination of both, where you build houses for other people, and it's typically paid for by the city that you're in, if they have the resources available.
Right, and I hope this isn't taking the place of that, but it doesn't sound like it is. It sounds like it's taking the place of just a visit.
Correct. Yeah, this is all virtual, and the other opportunities persist as long as money is available to facilitate it. Even though a lot of companies and individuals donate time, it still takes money. This actually removes a lot of the financial burden as long as it isn't prohibitively priced. So
Right, yeah. You have to, well, and who knows? I mean, since it might have academic pricing or something, but we don't know.
Well, depending on, see, the thing is that sometimes there is something that is available. It's grant funded by either state or federal, but then the grant turns off, leaving everybody to sustain it. But that doesn't necessarily take place because funds need to be allocated elsewhere. So this basically gets vaporized overnight. They know what the horizon is, and so they have to peel it away by the last year. So unfortunately, that can happen, depending again on the price. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know how much like if this is web-based or something. In concept, if this went away, they could go back to the other method.
Yeah.
If it doesn't require a lot of infrastructure.
Well, it looks like it is VR, so. And that can be expensive for enterprise level VR. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Smash or Trash, which is one of the shows that I really want to do, but I don't want to have to deal with copyright simply because I'm playing a little snippet and then talking about that snippet. It's an untenable position, and believe me, I'm still trying. And I come from the intellectual property sector where I used to pay for all of this licensing, and it never really made it easier. It was just a pain in the butt. Anyway, I'd really love to be able to talk about the music itself and play a little bit. Some people seem to get away with it, but I don't. Pitchfork Music Festival Paris 2025 dates have been announced. Pitchfork's annual multi-venue Parisian festival returns in November 2025. The article is over at Pitchfork, which has the tiniest header on their page.
Oh yeah, they do. Same thing with their sections.
Look, I can zoom in. That'll make it big. There we go. So this article is on pitchfork.com by Pitchfork people about Pitchfork's annual multi-venue Parisian festival returning in November. There it is.
Pitchfork.
It's a lot of pitchforks. Poke, 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 poke. 3 to 9 November 2025. Save the date. That's when it's coming. I don't know who all is going to be there. Last year's Pitchfork Festival featured performances by, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know any of these people.
No, I don't either.
Kate
I don't
LeBon.
know if many of these are French or not.
Oh boy. Oh, well, that's all there is. They don't have the actual rundown yet. So in addition to the Parisian Festival, Pitchfork Music Festival London will also make its return this year. Aklu, I guess, has been announced as the first artist in the lineup, performing a headline set at the Roundhouse on Friday, November 7th. Last year was a bigger list of a bunch of different others that, honestly, I've never even heard of any of these bands or individuals.
But this is a well-known festival, so it might be worth checking out.
Yep, there you go. All right, November 3rd through the 9th in Paris. Let's keep going. This next article is a video. It's over at ABC. It's Connecticut City is baffled by a seal roaming its streets. Not the musician seal, but a seal that...
That's hard to tell based on the superb owl commercial.
Yeah, rules. Yeah, that's true. The gray seal, believed to be a 6-month-old, is being nursed back to health at an aquarium. There it is.
Okay,
Weird.
yeah, that's a bit odd. It's showing it in a street with snow in the background. No water in sight other than rain.
Oh my gosh, and then there's an ad that has seal as a seal.
That is odd.
What? That is wild.
I mean, that's what we were referencing, but that is really strange.
Oh my gosh. So it's a little baby seal, and somebody found it, told the authorities. It's now at an aquarium being nursed back to health, and it'll be released back to the wild. It's over in New Haven, apparently.
Okay. So we know about like the flamingos that got sent off course and everything, but how does a seal end up in a city street?
No freaking idea. New Haven, Connecticut. All right. Well, let's just keep going. The next article is over in RealityHacker. VR game showcase returns March 11th, featuring Hitman for PSVR 2, Flat 2 VR games, and more. The year's first VR game showcase is getting ready to kick off, coming March 11th, and promising a load of VR game reveals, updates, and new trailers. The live stream event promises to include a new look at Hitman World of Assassination running on PSVR 2, RoboQuest VR, Wrath, Eon of Ruin VR, as well as new game announcements from Flat 2 VR Studios. Slated to offer the biggest lineup yet of XR games, or extended reality games, VR Game Showcase has a pretty high bar to beat since last year's event, which included reveals of Trombone Champ, which I love watching, but I haven't bought it. Trombone Champ Unflattened, Flat Out VR, and Arizona Sunshine Remake. The article is over at roadtovr.com, and it's by Scott Hayden. I think that's pretty much the nuts and bolts. There is a trailer over on youtube.com, so if you want to watch that, you can go and check that out.
Will you be watching the showcase?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's not until March 11th, though, so we have time to prepare. And hopefully, I keep making the threat that I'm going to stream, but I never have the time. And, there's a lot of complications there. So the summer of stream is right around the corner. We shall see if Mayor Watt will be able to do all that. All right. Now, our last...
So, everybody listening, go watch all 1,800 episodes all the way through, and maybe that'll facilitate the summer of stream.
That's right. Give them a thumbs up, follow us, ring the bell, ding the dong, and come and hang out.
Watch lots of hours.
Hang out and chat. Oh, I just punched my microphone. I'll be okay. Anyway.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I looked down and I thought that my mic was red, which meant that I was muted to everybody.
Oh, no. That would have been bad. Like the whole show.
The whole show. Yeah. I just had to verify that you weren't muted either. Oh, my gosh. That would... I've been in and out of meetings, and so I never know anymore, because once you're in a meeting, there's like 15 different mutes, at least in my rig. At any rate, let's go. The last article for February 18th, 2025 episode is California bar exam disaster reaches its offer everyone a refund stage. When Kafka wrote Before the Law, he meant to describe a surreal hellscape of standing before the law, not the real hellscape of applicants before they become lawyers. Yet the powers that be have transformed the February administration of the California bar exam into a farce that would make Kafka blush, beset with nightmarish twists and turns throughout the process, and with the exam start date looming on February 25th, the bar has offered full refunds to all 5,600 applicants out of an abundance of generosity and desperate necessity.
Wow. I'm sure after they probably spent thousands on bar exam prep and all kinds of hours, they're going to be really thrilled.
Are they giving the money and they can still sit? This unprecedented move comes after multiple blunders left test takers bewildered at the prospect of staking their career on an exam that resembled building an airplane mid-flight, except the plane is a Boeing and it's taking direction from air traffic controllers. From scheduling nightmares to broken practice exams to a dearth of accessible test centers, the bar's partnership with Measure Learning has left a lot to be desired, the article says. The article, by the way, is by Joe Patrice over at AboveTheLaw.com. Nowadays, you kind of have to meter your words, and so I'm actually kind of navigating this as we go. As the state bar examiners put it in their refund email, the experience has generated a lot of frustration, confusion, and anxiety. This is a quote from apparently the letter. We are extremely sorry for how the administration of the February 2025 bar exam has been rolling out. We understand that scheduling challenges, poor communication, and inconsistent messaging between the state bar, and measure learning have caused a lot of frustration, confusion, and anxiety. As a result, we are offering all applicants who wish to withdraw from the February exam a full refund. Oh, so they have to withdraw.
Right, but didn't it say February 25th? Like it's a week away.
Mm-hmm. The problem here is that you can get a job pending your bar results.
Right, so I'm not sure everybody has an option to really bow out.
Yeah, they'll lose the gig to somebody that actually passes it from another state or wherever. And it really depends. There's a lot of machinations there. But anyway, to qualify, you need to withdraw before the exam by submitting your request to withdraw through the applicant portal. We know many applicants do not have the option of withdrawing, and we are committed to making the exam the best experience we can. Like having somebody outside the window cutting bricks.
I mean, that's definitely a must-have.
Yeah. So everything about the process, they say, has been cursed. California got to this point after its bar exam lurched into the red, and rather than swiftly plotting out a graceful transition, detractors held up the prospect of reform until the 11th hour. So it looks like it's a hot mess. The bar's offer is an $830 refund minus bank fees, naturally, serves as a fitting coda to this tragicomedy. But deferring the exam isn't an option for many applicants who need to pass this.
Aha, you hadn't even read this.
To keep their jobs, yeah. So for those folks, examiners offer more practice questions, a few more testing locations, and importantly, a red line of the student guide so everyone can easily figure out where the rules have changed midstream. Holy crap.
Look at you have to see the conclusion, though.
Someday, California's new look bar exam will deliver solid results in a convenient and cost-effective manner. That day, however, is not today.
Ouch.
Why is that? California's new look bar exam? I guess that is the bar exam has changed and that's the new look bar exam.
Yeah, it's a weird phrase, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, there's more in this article, but yeah, this is pretty astonishing. An 11th hour refund for those who can take advantage of it, but if you've already gone through all of this,
people that are ready to fail it are probably cheering, but that's probably not most of the people.
Yeah, wild. All right. So we're going to bomb the bar exam, and that will make us just go right back to the front page of ohmtown.com. We'll just sit there and go, oh, well, we'll take it again. Another $830 down. La, 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 right? Student loans will pay for it, right? Right? Never mind. Anyway, I'm Mayor Watt. I'm saying goodnight, and I'm taking the AI with me.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News, and come back tomorrow for another episode. But be sure to subscribe and watch any of our back episodes or a replay.
See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.